What's up, guys? Welcome to TechLink Daily. This is the place to get your daily hottest tech news, and the single piece of hottest tech news today is the Google I/O Developer Conference. This huge conference is where all of the Google developers, whether it be Android or any other of their product developers, all gather around to show off products and to see what Google has in store for the upcoming year. Now, of course, I was watching it on the live stream and I took tons of notes, and we're going to do a real quick kind of overview on what the Google I/O keynote was all about. Of course, it was live streamed on YouTube and is available to watch on YouTube. It's about 3.5 hours long, so this probably 5 to 6, maybe even 10-minute video will be much shorter than watching the actual keynote. We're just going to go over the big major points. Starting off with Google. They always talk about their stats, how they were #1 in everything, how more people are starting to use more Google products. They're still working at it. They started off with all of their stats, but then they moved into Android, talking about their kind of stock Android device called Android One. What this is it's kind of a cheap model for phone developers to go by when they are developing phones, especially cheaper phones as well. They have requirements for this, including it having stock Android, Google Play auto installs, as well as auto updates. And the phone is going to be less than $100 when the developers of these phones get them produced. So they're going to be a nice, cheap option. We also got a developer preview of the new L release from Android. They say L because they haven't released the official name of the next iteration of Android, but we're all going to assume that it's Lollipop because, come on, it's kind of common sense there. But they talked about what the new Android is going to have, including 5,000 new developer APIs, new design features, which has a lot to do with more 3D looking. They were talking a lot about how they can make it kind of pop off the screen, and you can now tell your elements how far off of the virtual display to display this. So you can kind of create shadow effects or building effects when it comes to that. Just think of really kind of like the 3D maps of Google Maps. Well, think of that, but as the Android itself. It might be pretty interesting. We also have new developer design tools as well. I will get into that in just a minute with even more details, but they were all about a new design. They're all about having a more flatter design, making everything round with sharp lines, more white space. They were really showing that off as the new big thing, and it rolled right into the new Gmail redesign, which does have a lot more white space. It's a lot more spaced out. It's using bold fonts, round icons, and gives a nice airy feel when it comes to using the application, not as cluttered as some people may think about it. Then they talked about the Polymer project, which is all their design stuff. They were hoping, or they're showing off the 60 frames per second of web development rendering, so you can create 60 frame per second web art, which might be very interesting. And everything that I just talked about for that design, you can actually go and preview everything at google.com/design. That's google.com/design. You can see all of the new design elemental changes coming not only to an Android device, but also Gmail as well. You can see all of those new features. They also showed off new notifications as well, how they can stack, how they will display on your screen, having a nice lock home page to show those new notifications. Looks quite interesting and something that might bring a lot of people together to like notifications on Android, because that's one thing that I was a little bit iffy about when I had my Android devices in the past, is their notifications didn't seem too perfect. They were still right on, but I think they needed a little bit of something else, and I think this is where that little bit of something else is coming from. They also talked more about hardware as well and development. They're adding 64-bit support, their native 64-bit support with the runtime that Android runs on. They have a job scheduler API now, battery saving tools, malware protection in the Google Play Store, so they're going to start really battling all of those malware applications that are being submitted to Google Play, as well as Play Store security patches, not only patching the Play Store itself, but also applications. You can submit security patches to your applications to kind of fix all the issues that may be there, as well as a factory reset protection as well, something like the iPhone already has with the iCloud protection, so you can't just factory reset the device, but you actually do need to have some sort of password to get it to be reset. And then they moved on to wearable technology. Android Wear is a huge, big thing that's upcoming in the market. I've been talking nonstop about how wearable technology, not just from Google, but everyone, is going to be the way of the future. And Google is starting to do that with a lot more APIs. They showed off the LG G, which is their new smartwatch, with new notifications, voice actions as well, so you can leave messages. Basically, you can talk to your watch and it can do stuff, something that seems very interesting for a lot of people, but you know, it's going to kind of turn it into, it's kind of like, boop, set a time for 3:40, and then it's going to be looking a little bit weird when everybody's talking to their watches. But moving on. They have integrations with the Android. They want to make that clear that they will be integrating with Android, so it's a kind of an extension of Android rather than just their own. That's one big thing that they really wanted to make an iteration there, was that they were saying that it's kind of an extension more than its own solo platform. Then they moved on into automotive. Yes, Android is getting into the auto industry now with Android in the car, navigation, having larger navigation screens and to use the maps, as well as communications as well, so you can make phone calls, you can do messages right from your car. They also have music as well integration. And of course, they have an automotive alliance where they're bringing in a lot of car manufacturers to start integrating this system into their phone. And if I ever get a new car that has Android in it, you would think that I would probably actually get an Android phone, and I probably will, but it would probably be something that I might leave in the car. Say I get just a cheap Android phone, I get like a T-Mobile $20 a month unlimited data plan on it, and just keep it in my car so that I can use it on the go and I can work with it. I think that would be a great technology. So you have that. They also got into Android TV. Android TV is all about making everything simpler. They're talked about overlays, so you can see more information about the TV shows that you may be watching, to find more TV shows, look up IMDb records, all of that sort of stuff. They were really putting in a big effort to become larger in the television market. With this new Android TV, all you need is a D-pad with voice capabilities, which could be your phone, which could be even a controller as well, but you can use it with just a D-pad and voice controls, which is great. They also talked about Chromecast as well. If you want to know about the upcoming applications that will have Chromecast integration, they actually have a website where you can see that now to manage all that. That is chromecast.com/apps. Chromecast.com/apps. You'll be able to see all of the upcoming applications and current applications that will be compatible with the Google Chromecast. And I have that around here somewhere, so I should probably dig that out and see what apps are available for it. They also talked about mirroring with Android, so you'll be able to take your Android device and mirror it up to the Google Chromecast, and you'll be able to do all of the sort of stuff that you would want to do with mirroring to a larger screen. Talked about the Chromebook as well. Chromebook got a big push during Google I/O, talking about how they're going to start integrating it more. Your phone can now unlock your Chromebook, integration with Chromebook as well, with Android devices being able to mirror displays on your phone up to your Chromebook. That sounds pretty cool. And you know, I've really been meaning to get a Chromebook. I kind of want to get one to kind of leave on the couch and kind of just use it, say, you know, watching TV, which my TV is right over there, that's why I pointed to it. And you know, while I'm watching TV, it's like, hey, I want to know what that is. I pick up my Chromebook, I type whatever I want, you know, probably should do that. But moving on, talking about now work enterprise related software. They announced Drive for Work, where enterprises can now use Google Drive. It is encryption end-to-end, so not only is it stored encrypted, but it's also delivered to you or clients via encryption as well. They have lots of admin controls for Google Drive, APIs for Google Drive to allow for monitoring your employees, unlimited storage, and this all comes at $10 per user per month. Not a bad price when you're an enterprise wanting cloud storage. For $10 per user per month, that isn't half bad. Now, as they wrapped up, they showed off Google Fit. It is a preview application, and what it does is it's an application like the new health book for Apple, where it brings in a lot of tracker APIs, a lot of health-based APIs, brings it into one location, one app, so you can track maybe stats from a pedometer or a heart rate monitor and bring it all into one application. They showed that off in just a slight preview, which will be available very soon. They talked about that for a brief moment. They also talked about something very interesting, and it's kind of a fun little thing. It's called Cardboard. Cardboard allows you to turn almost any Android device into a virtual reality headset. It is literally cardboard that you put together, put on your head, slide your phone into a slot, and it becomes kind of a virtual reality headset. Quite interesting, and it was kind of a fun little thing to happen there. There was only kind of one big mishap right now that we know of at Google I/O, and that was there was actually a couple protesters at Google I/O. One was actually inside of the keynote who started yelling at the presenter about how Google is creating applications that kill people, and they had to be forcibly removed from the auditorium. But that is probably going to be reported on more than I'm going to talk about it. But that's about it for Google I/O. The other big thing is that developers usually get some sort of big, kind of expensive gift when you go to Google I/O. For this year, they are not giving out gifts rather than doing a promise of a gift, and that is that developers are getting the new Moto 360, which is their watch for them when it does get released. So that's pretty cool for developers to get, and definitely will encourage them to develop for the Moto 360 and other wearable technology. But there you go. That is all of my notes. One full page, actually 2 full pages of notes that I took on the event today. So if you have any comments or questions, leave them in the comments section down below. I always look through them and I'm willing to answer any questions for you guys. Be sure to like and share this video as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Kareem Miller, and we'll see you guys in our next video.